On today's episode of the Carolina Sports Guy, kind of want to go back and give tribute to one of the greatest Carolina Panthers, in my opinion, very underrated player, Muhsin Muhammad. Before we get into today's video, hit that like button, folks. Leave me some comments. Hit that bell notification. Be notified of future videos like the one today on the Panthers. And by all means, folks, subscribe. Help Uncle Chucky out. It doesn't cost anything. All right, folks. Kind of want to look ahead here. And I just got thinking about former players who've moved on. And as you get older and you might pull somebody up online or just kind of looking around and realize, man, how much a player might have meant to you when they played for you. The career of Muhsin Muhammad, 1996, our second year. He was a second-round draft pick number 43 from Michigan State. Now, big-bodied receiver. And the reason why I picked him today is because I'm really seeing a lot of early looks on Terrace Marshall Jr. And I'm not trying to make a comparison. It's way too early. But we've had guys like LaFell who never lived up to that billing what Muhammad was. Even guys like Funchess just never. They played smaller than what that big body mentality and what Muhammad had. So I'm hoping Terrace Marshall Jr. can be that, maybe even better. But I just wanted to give Muhammad a tribute. Excuse me. The very first jersey I ever owned, when I went to my first Panther game, we were a couple of years old, about 3 years old. It was a Muhammad jersey, Muhsin Muhammad. And I wore it with pride. I still have it to this day. But we got to look at his career because he had a 14-year NFL career. He spent 11 years with the Carolina Panthers, 3 with the Chicago Bears. Now, the 1996 season, he comes into Carolina. He played there from 1996 to 2004. The guy was a 2-time Pro Bowler, 1999, so about his 4th year in, and 2004. And 2004 is going to be his pinnacle, folks. It's going to be his great year. And that's one reason why he was demanding a big contract, and the Panthers just balked. And it wasn't any wanting back. We're coming off a year where Steve Smith broke his leg. And that was one reason why Muhammad had such a big year. I'm not taking anything away from him, but with Steve Smith out, it made a difference. Because you got to understand, 2003 season, folks, they had just been to the Super Bowl. There were high expectations. Very first game of the season, they're playing Green Bay on a Monday night. And Steve Smith breaks his leg in that game. And everybody, you could feel the wind out of the stadium. You just knew this isn't good. And, of course, the season didn't end good. We didn't make the playoffs. But Muhammad had to really pick up the slack with Jake Delhomme and did well. Just wasn't good enough, and I think we missed Steve a lot. But his numbers were incredible. But he was a 2-time Pro Bowler, like I said, 1999 and that 2004 season. He was first-team All-Pro in 2004, like I said, because Steve Smith's not there, but he had a hell of a year. I mean, you're talking about the Triple Crown. This guy was the NFL receiving yards leader in 2004. He was the NFL receiving touchdown leader in 2004. And he didn't get the NFL reception lead that year, but he was the 2000 NFL reception leader. He had 860 receptions in his career for Carolina, 11,438 yards. 62 receiving touchdowns. And if you go back and remember Super Bowl 38 against the Patriots, I don't know if it's been broken, but I do know at the time, and I got to go back, and I still to this day I think it's the longest, but I don't always keep up with every team after that. So I could be wrong. But in the Super Bowl 38, he had the longest receiving touchdown in Super Bowl history, 85 yards from Jake Delhomme. Very, very impressive. Now, like I said, the Bears ended up paying him, I want to say it was on a 4-year contract. He ended up playing 3 years for the Bears. He came back, paid 2008 and 2009. Of course, the 2008 year was a playoff year where we shit the bed against the Cardinals. But I want to look at his playoff statistics. In 1996, his rookie year, he didn't have any receptions in the playoffs that year. And I know I think we played Dallas that year and won. And I'm trying to remember if we played anybody else. Might have just been Green Bay where we got beat in the cold. So he didn't have any receptions. He was a new receiver. 2003, 15 receptions, 352 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had the one against the Eagles in the NFC Championship game, 14-3 win, where he silences the crowd. And then, of course, he had that long reception in the Super Bowl. 2008, when he came back to play for us, last hurrah, the year next his last year in his career, 5 receptions, 55 yards, but no touchdowns that day against the Cardinals. So just a really big shout out to a great receiver, folks. And just kind of wanted to pay respect to Muhsin Muhammad. So what do you guys think of today's video? Is Muhammad one of your favorite receivers? Who would you rate over him other than Steve Smith? Leave me some comments. Hit that bell notification to be notified of future content like this. Pound that like button. And by all means, folks, subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. And we will see you on another edition of Carolina Sports Guy.